So hi Jules, Jules Cruise Companion. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to demonstrate a couple of head coverings. When I post on solo traveller websites or something like that, if I'm wearing a head covering, people will often ask, do I have any tutorials to help people do a similar type of style? Now I do not, I go to Jordan quite a lot, so you don't actually have to wear a head covering in Jordan, but I choose to, and the discussions often come around about head coverings. So head coverings can be for a few reasons. It can be for cultural reasons, it can be for religious reasons, it can be medical reasons, it can be environmental reasons. You just want to keep out of the sun and you don't want to particularly wear a hat or a peak cap. And it can also just be a fashion statement, a nice bright pop of colour if you've got a plain, and I normally wear a plain block colours, and so that's my splash of colour. So it's often a fashion statement. So what I will do is do a couple of different styles, and I'll post them, and I hope you have fun just trying some different styles. And there's no right or wrong way of doing it. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, message me, personal message me. As I say, a lot of my stuff is travelling to Jordan, and I'm so happy to help anybody who wants to have a similar experience to what I've been doing. What I'd like to show you today is a different type of fold on a scarf, and it's a full both head covering and around the shoulders, a more of a slightly hijabi type style. So what I have is just a regular triangular pashmina style, and what I've done is I've kept it open fully. What I'm going to do in the first instance is I am just going to tie the end just like that. So there we go, I've got quite a nice decent piece of covering. And the next thing that I choose to do, because I'm actually just going to bring the whole scarf just over my head. She says as she gets stuck in all of the scarf because it's light and beautiful, a gift from a beautiful friend. And it has a fairly light covering or a light feel to it. What you can do is use pins and just anchor the scarf so that it doesn't move. So that is a really easy head covering, and it's because it's only one layer of cloth, it's very light, very nice, and it's got more of that covering of the shoulders, for example, if you were in a religious place. Hi, so the next covering that I'm going to do, the next head covering I'm going to do is with the triangular pashmina style. I'm actually going to fold it in half just to make it a little bit more controllable. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over my head with a long tail at one end and a short tail at the other. There we go, we can see that. And what I'm actually going to do this time is bunch this section up, and I'm actually going to tie it. I often don't tie, I often just use the tucks. What I'm going to do for the knot on this one, the ties, I'm going to come across at the top and then push it up underneath as the anchor, because that is going to be easier to tuck it all in and to make it that little bit tidier. As I've said before, I think I cover my eyebrows when I'm actually doing the style, and then when I've got the style anchored, I can move it to where I want to go. So what I've managed to do there is I've tied the scarf so it almost looks like a cap, and kept that pretty tidy. And over here I've got a full large piece of cloth. Let's just have a look, because all tying head coverings is just trial and error and playing. So I've left it folded halfway. Left it folded halfway. Let's see how that goes. Doesn't quite have as much covering as I would have liked. So let's see if I open it completely. And throw it over. Yes, you've got a little bit more length there. When I've used this style before, I actually use the pins, so because when I tuck, I'm going to lose a little bit of the scarf. But for this example, I'll just tuck. Reintroduce my eyebrows to the world. There we go. And that is a very simple style. So I almost started with a cap, had the long tail at one side, and then just did the scoop over. And when you've anchored that with pins, it stays quite nice. So I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you do, give the video a like. If you're watching it on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you can get a notification of any time I post anything new. I travel to Jordan quite a lot, and I have a contact with Ali Farash Jordan, and he's been my driver now for a year or so, just over a year, maybe a year and a half. And I can offer you any advice about what to see, how to get fit to get to Jordan, because you do need to be fit to travel to Jordan to really get the most out of it. What to do if in the hotter months, in the June, July type period, which months are better to travel. Just if you have any questions about Jordan, just ask me. Stay safe and happy travels.